Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, and I get many messages about how to breed dogs. I'm going to make it as simple as possible for you. My thing of it is this. You get, it's comical, but it's I get frustrated sometimes, but I also laugh at it. It's because all we have to do is breed for consistency. Stop trying to breed for hype. Stop trying to breed for the things that you think might make you popular. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to is my goodness, it boils down to the fact that most people want what's popular instead of what's going to make their program. I've pointed out programs like Pratt's program and Oscar Gomez's program. When you stay the course, you can consistently make the same type of dog over and over again, and actually make a better version of that same dog over and over again. When you decide one day that you're going to pick an extreme dog, the next day you're going to pick a pocket dog, the next day you're going to do this, you're never going to get to your destination because you keep changing directions. Even furthermore is why we often overlook dogs that have a long track record of producing good dogs just to try to get the new dog. And that's silliness, I often look at breeding dogs, picking a stud, in a lot of cases is like, going to the dentist or going to the doctor. You wouldn't want a doctor that just graduated. No offense to the doctors who just graduated, but if you had a serious problem, you would want that doctor who's been there and who has a proven track record. It's the same thing with a stud. You want a stud that has proven to you, multiple times and as many times as possible that they can produce a great dog and that their blood is going to be a benefit to your program. Y'all seen me say this on other videos, but one of the reasons why the American Bully is in the position that it's in right now is because we have so many guest breeders and hype breeders. So many people breed nonsense just because, he won some shows or whatever, and then you end up with litters of average to below average dogs, and you wonder why, when many a times y'all have spent the hype money and not gotten hype results, when you could have went to a stud that's more consistent. I see a lot of the better studs who've been consistent for years at pretty fair prices compared to some of these hyped up dogs. But because you want to sell puppies or because you want to believe that you're making the next big thing, you always go with the hype and you always get your heart broke. This is why, we do typically in the bully game, you use the same studs over and over again. And when you do your math, it's a reason why we're not seeing great dogs, because a lot of these hype dogs that are being used over and over again are making very average to below average dogs. I repeat, it's not a secret. You've got dogs out here with 2,000 and 3,000 puppies, 1,500 puppies. Where are all the great puppies at? People have to use both sides of that equation. First of all, you need to do breedings that make sense, and second of all, you need to use studs that make sense and studs that are proven. Every dog is not a proven stud. Just because they look good don't mean they're going to produce good. Their dad showed that he can produce good at least on one occasion, but that doesn't mean that stud is a proven stud and he can do this over and over again for you. Also, look at the track record of his blood, because blood lines and strands of blood, they dictate a lot of times too what what your dogs are going to come out as. Far too many times we're just going along with anything just by the visual. And dogs, I know we live in a visual world here, especially with dogs, that we like what we see, but also you have to look at that dog's background. You have to look at everything that made that dog. Breeding is a science. It's not just something that you do for fun. Even if you're doing it for fun, you should respect the science of it and do your studies. I like to pick dogs that have a long track record behind them of very nice dogs, because if they have a long track record behind them of very nice dogs, where I can go back, like say with Denzel, his mom is the very first champion ever, Halle B, maybe the best female ever. His grandfather is maybe one of the best males ever, and Paco, who was the second ever American Bully champion. You go back to Little Ro, who was a very nice producing dog, even though he wasn't a great conformation dog. Then you go back to one of the greatest of all time, Little Ro's dad, who was, Cairo. Then, you know, on Hallie's side, you go, you know, where she has some good blood from Shamu, but also you look at Thug, and Thug was a very nice show dog, and he turned out to be a proven producer, as his blood is heavily used in the Texas area. So, you know, Denzel, it was in his DNA to be a producer, you know, just like his brothers. They all produce because it's embedded in them. And I'm just speaking for myself, but like I told you, if you go to Pratt's yard, you see the same thing. Kamali and Nemesis blood transcends time. He continuously produces with the same blood over and over again because this shit is genetically, you know what I'm saying, patterned to do what it's supposed to do. It's not any hype to this, you know, but instead of dogs who have done this, and I'm not saying that you have to come get a dog from myself or Pratt or any of that, but if you're gonna want success, do like everything else in the world. People, you know, if you're looking for success at anything else in the world, you're looking for somebody who's a proven successful person. Do the same thing in the dog world. Pick proven successful bloodlines, dogs, and stay consistent to what your program is, and stop doing all this damn guessing. But until next time, man, if y'all got any questions, y'all hit me up and y'all let me know what to address. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.